Welcome back to Declutter Guide. Cleaning regularly but still feeling like it's never enough is something many of us experience. You're tired of doing it over and over, yet the space still feels cluttered and you don't understand why you haven't fixed it yet. The reason is that we clean out of habit without truly understanding why we're doing it or what the real goal is behind it. Today's video will help you shift your perspective on cleaning. It's not about cleaning quickly or perfectly, but about doing it with purpose and understanding. I'm going to share a simple way to get started in just 3 minutes, and from there, you'll begin to see bigger changes in your living space. Number 1, let's start with weddings and big events. Occasions like weddings or big parties often make us feel the need to spend a lot to create the perfect day. But have you ever thought that after all, you might end up facing debt or regret for spending so much on an event that only lasts a few hours? We often feel pressured to throw grand events to show affection or make an impression. But the truth is, overspending on these occasions can leave you with financial burdens long after the event is over, and it can even affect your long-term goals, like saving for a house or investing in your future. You don't need to spend a fortune on one special day. Instead, opt for a simpler event that still holds great meaning without breaking the bank. This way, you can enjoy the moment without worrying about the financial aftermath. And most importantly, you'll feel lighter knowing you didn't go into debt for a single occasion. The benefit of this solution is that you can save a substantial amount of money for more practical goals in life, such as buying a house or investing in yourself. You won't feel anxious or regretful after the event, and that will give you more freedom in your finances. Tomorrow, I'll continue sharing more useful tips that can help you make smarter financial choices and create a life that's lighter and more stress-free. Now that we've covered how to save on big events, let's move on to another area where we tend to overspend: unnecessary subscriptions. We've all been there, standing in the cleaning aisle, staring at all those expensive brand name products, thinking they must be better because of their fancy packaging and bold claims. But are they really worth the cost? Here's the thing: many of these commercial cleaners don't work any better than simple homemade alternatives. In fact, a lot of them are just overpriced versions of common household ingredients like vinegar and baking soda. These ingredients are just as effective and can clean most surfaces at a fraction of the price. Instead of spending money on expensive chemical-laden cleaners, why not make your own? A basic mix of vinegar and baking soda can tackle most messes around the house, whether it's scrubbing countertops, cleaning the bathroom, or even freshening up carpets. You can also customize your cleaning solutions by adding a few drops of essential oils for fragrance or some lemon juice for an extra boost of cleaning power. Not only will this save you money, but you'll also avoid the harsh chemicals often found in commercial cleaners. It's a win for your wallet and your health. Plus, you get to have full control over what goes into the products you use in your home every day. Switching to homemade cleaners is a simple way to cut back on unnecessary spending while also making your living space safer and more eco-friendly. Give it a try, and you might be surprised by how well these basic ingredients can do the job. Now that we've talked about how to save on cleaning products, let's move on to another area where we tend to overspend buying brand new tech. When you're thinking about buying a car, it's easy to get excited about the idea of driving off in a brand new vehicle. But here's something many people overlook: new cars lose up to 20% of their value the moment you drive them off the lot. The issue is that buying a new car feels like a fresh start, but you're immediately losing a significant chunk of the car's value. In fact, new cars depreciate so quickly in the first few years that you're essentially paying for something that's already losing its worth. This can leave you with a car that's worth much less than you paid for it, and it can make selling or trading it in later more difficult. So what's the solution? Instead of buying a brand new car, consider purchasing a used one. A used car that's a few years old and still in great condition will save you a lot of money, and you won't have to deal with the rapid depreciation of a new car. Make sure to check the mileage and service history to ensure it's in good shape. The benefit of this approach is that you get a reliable vehicle at a much lower cost without the stress of losing value so quickly. You'll save thousands of dollars and still drive a high-quality car. Now that we've talked about saving money on cars, let's move on to another area where we tend to overspend: premium kitchen gadgets. When we think about luxury items like designer clothes or accessories, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that they'll somehow make us feel more important or stylish. But here's the truth: designer products don't always offer more value than less expensive alternatives. You might be paying a premium for the brand name, not the quality or function. The problem is, we often fall into the trap of thinking that owning something exclusive will elevate our image. But in reality, it's just a way to justify spending far more than we need to. These products don't necessarily improve your life or bring lasting satisfaction, but they can leave a dent in your wallet. The solution: look for high-quality items, but don't get caught up in paying extra just for the designer label. There are plenty of alternatives that offer the same quality without the luxury price tag. Focus on durability and style, and choose products that fit your needs without the need to overspend just for the brand name. By choosing wisely, you can still have great quality while saving money. It's all about making smarter choices, not sacrificing quality. Now that we've talked about designer brands, let's move on to another area where we often overspend: subscription boxes. Subscription boxes seem like a fun way to try new products and get surprises delivered to your door. But here's the thing: most of the time, these boxes only offer a few items you actually need, and the rest are just things that end up taking up space and going unused. The problem is, we often get caught up in the excitement of receiving a new box each month without realizing how much we're spending on things that we don't even need. Over time, those small subscription fees add up, and you're left with a bunch of random items cluttering your home. So what's the solution? Cut back on subscription boxes. Instead of signing up for every service out there, focus on the ones that truly offer value and only get things you genuinely need or will use. It might seem like a small change, but it can save you a lot of money in the long run, and your home will thank you for it. By cutting out the extra subscriptions, you'll have more control over what's coming into your home, and your budget will thank you too. It's about choosing quality over quantity and being mindful of the things you actually need. Now that we've covered subscription boxes, let's talk about another area where we often overspend: premium kitchen gadgets. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement whenever a new phone, laptop, or gadget is released. The sleek designs, shiny new features, and promises of better performance make you feel like you have to upgrade. But here's the truth: you don't always need the latest tech to meet your needs. The problem arises when manufacturers constantly push out the latest and greatest version of their products. They make us feel like we're falling behind if we don't get the newest model. But in reality, if your current devices are still working fine, there's little reason to upgrade. We often get trapped in the cycle of upgrading simply because it's the latest release, not because it offers significant improvements to our daily life. This constant urge to upgrade can easily drain your wallet, leaving you with a collection of devices that don't really add any extra value to your life. So what's the solution, instead of rushing to buy the newest tech, stick with the devices you already own? If your phone, laptop, or tablet is still doing the job, there's no need to spend money on the latest version. In fact, you can even buy used or refurbished models of newer tech that are still in great condition, and they'll cost you a fraction of the price of brand new ones. By holding off on the latest tech, you'll save a lot of money that can be put towards things that truly matter, like building your savings, investing in experiences, or putting money into long-term goals. Plus, you'll avoid the stress and pressure of constantly keeping up with the newest trends, which means a less cluttered, more focused life. You can get just as much value out of the technology you already have, and it's a more sustainable, financially sound approach. Keeping the gadgets that still serve your needs means fewer things to worry about and more room for what really counts. With that in mind, let's move on to another area where we tend to overspend: premium kitchen gadgets. Before you reach for your credit card, pause and ask yourself, do I really need this? It's so easy to pull out the card and buy something on impulse, but using credit for items you don't truly need can lead to unnecessary stress down the road. The problem is, credit cards can give you a false sense of financial freedom. We often buy things we don't need or don't have the money for at the moment. When we can't pay the balance off in full, the interest charges begin to pile up. What seemed like a simple purchase now becomes an expensive burden, draining your wallet over time. The solution is straightforward: only use credit for purchases you can pay for immediately or for planned expenses that fit within your budget. If you can't afford it now, don't buy it. By sticking to cash or paying off your credit card balance in full each month, you'll avoid the cycle of debt that can quickly spiral out of control. By making this change, you'll feel less stress and more in control of your finances. You'll be able to save money, avoid unnecessary purchases, and free up your resources for what truly matters. Having a better grasp on your spending habits is a great start. And next, let's look at another area where we tend to overspend: premium kitchen gadgets. We all have that one drawer closet, or even an entire room where things just seem to pile up over time. We keep things because we think, I might need this someday, or this has sentimental value. But the truth is, if you haven't used something in the past few months or even years, it's probably time to let it go. Clutter in our living spaces doesn't just make the room look messy. It starts to take a toll on your mental well-being. The more stuff you hold on to, the more overwhelming it becomes. Walking into a room full of things you don't need can create a sense of stress without you even realizing it. You end up spending more energy on maintaining things that no longer serve you, and the clutter weighs on your mind. Instead of letting things pile up, try making it a habit to go through your things every few months. Get rid of items that you no longer use or that don't fit your current lifestyle. If it's not contributing to your life right now, whether it's something you need love or use, let it go. Letting go of unnecessary things isn't about being extreme or perfect. It's about creating space for what really matters. As you start decluttering, you'll notice the physical space in your home feels lighter, but so will your mind. A clean, organized environment can help you feel more in control and at peace. You'll have a space that actually reflects your needs and your current life. It's amazing how freeing it can feel to walk into a room that isn't filled with things you don't need. Not only will this help you reduce stress, but it will also make it easier to focus on what's important and let go of the mental clutter that comes with a disorganized space. When it comes to travel, many of us think we need to book expensive flights, stay in fancy hotels, and go to popular tourist destinations to have a great experience. But the truth is, you can have an amazing trip without spending a fortune. The problem is, we often get caught up in the idea that travel has to be a big, expensive adventure to be worthwhile. We book flights to faraway places and spend money on things we don't really need just to say we've been there. But these high costs can quickly add up and leave us with less money for the things that matter in the long run. Instead, consider exploring places closer to home or look for budget-friendly travel options. A weekend road trip to a nearby city or a staycation at a local hotel can provide just as much enjoyment as a costly vacation. You might be surprised at how many hidden gems there are right in your own backyard. Plus, traveling locally can give you a new perspective on the places you may have overlooked. Choosing more affordable travel options not only saves you money, but it also gives you the freedom to travel more often and explore a variety of experiences without the financial strain. You'll still create lasting memories and enjoy new places, but without the stress of overspending. Now that we've covered travel, let's move on to another area where we often overspend: premium kitchen gadgets. Eating out can be convenient, especially when you're busy or don't feel like cooking. But when you add up the cost of meals at restaurants, takeout, or delivery, it's easy to see how much money is going out the door. The problem is, dining out regularly can quickly become a drain on your finances. Not only are you paying a premium for food that's often marked up for convenience, but you're also not in control of what's going into your meals. Over time, this adds up and leaves you with less money for other important things. So what's the solution? Start cooking at home. While it might take a bit more time and effort, preparing your own meals can save you a significant amount of money. You can buy ingredients in bulk use leftovers creatively and cook meals that suit your taste and budget. Plus, when you cook at home, you know exactly what's going into your food, which means you can make healthier choices and avoid unnecessary additives or unhealthy fats. By making this simple shift, you'll not only save money, but also improve your health. Cooking at home can also become a fun and rewarding activity, and it gives you the opportunity to try new recipes and experiment with flavors. It's a win-win. Having more control over your meals and your budget is a great way to create a healthier lifestyle. Next, let's move on to another area where we tend to overspend: premium kitchen gadgets. When new gadgets are released, it's tempting to think that upgrading to the latest model will make a huge difference in your experience. However, many times the newest electronics don't offer much more than older versions. You might be paying a premium for minor upgrades that don't really change the way you use the product. Think about it. Your current phone, laptop, or TV might still be working perfectly fine. Yet we're often drawn to buy the newest model because of the hype, the marketing, or simply because it feels like we should upgrade. But in reality, the jump in performance between generations isn't always significant enough to justify the extra cost. If your current devices still meet your needs, there's no need to rush into upgrading. Stick with what you have, or consider buying a well-maintained used version of the newer tech if you need an upgrade. This way, you're not spending unnecessary money, and you can get the same functionality for much less. By holding off on the latest tech, you'll keep your finances intact while still enjoying the devices you already own. Plus, you'll feel less pressure to keep up with every new release. Let's move on to the next area where we often overspend: designer clothes. Kitchens can easily become overcrowded with gadgets and utensils we don't really need. From fancy blenders to specialized tools, we often buy things that seem useful at the time, but rarely get used in daily cooking. The problem is, the more stuff you have in your kitchen, the harder it becomes to keep things organized and find what you actually use. Instead of making meal prep easier, all the clutter can make cooking feel like a hassle. And let's face it, most of those gadgets end up taking up space and just collect dust. So what can you do? Focus on keeping only the tools you use regularly. There's no need to fill your kitchen with every new trendy gadget. Invest in high-quality, versatile kitchen tools that you can use often and that will last. A few well-chosen items are all you need to create a functional and enjoyable cooking space. By simplifying your kitchen, you'll not only have more space, but you'll also make cooking easier, more enjoyable, and less stressful. A clean, organized kitchen helps you focus on what really matters: cooking and enjoying your meals. Now that you have these simple, practical tips to help you save money, reduce clutter, and make smarter choices, it's time to start applying them to your daily life. Small changes like avoiding unnecessary purchases, simplifying your living space, and making more thoughtful financial decisions can add up to big improvements in both your finances and your well-being. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress one step at a time. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. Start with one change today, and you'll feel the difference. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe for more content on how to live a lighter, more intentional life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.